Welcome everyone once again. Good evening and happy new month. We are starting time now. So you are welcome to Eretmis Cyber Chat. We do this every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And like I always say, it's Friday night. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here to improve yourself as a cybersecurity professional and then also to share in the Eretmis community. And we appreciate your time and we'll make sure you are going to have something as always for your toolbox. So let's get started. This month is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. It started in the United States and around the world. I think most countries and continents are also adopting October as Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So we are going to be looking at how it started and what have been some of the policies on the government side for cybersecurity, like the initiative for the government on when it comes to cybersecurity. For us at Eretmis, we are doing a Cybersecurity Awareness Month promo. That is a 25% off on all our training courses that we are offering. And we will talk a little bit more about that. So for this program is brought to you every Friday night by Eretmis Academy. And I am your instructor, so pilot for tonight. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Edu. I'm the CEO of Eretmis Inc., a cybersecurity and PCI QSA company based out of New York, and the founder of Eretmis Academy. And I used to be a United States Army captain, and I also used to be a professor at University of Maryland Global Campus and CTC, and a member of the Forbes Technology Council as well. So you are welcome. Eretmis, we are partners. Eretmis Academy, we are partners with CompTIA. We are authorized CompTIA partners. And what that means is that we afford 20% 20% discount on all CompTIA security, all CompTIA certifications that you want to take. You reach out to us and we will buy the voucher on your behalf, and you are going to get a 20% discount. And you'll be able to save that on the different certifications that you want to sit for. And then also, in the cybersecurity space, if you have any certification or you are looking to sit for any certification, every 3 years you are supposed to renew your certification, and renewing it two ways. There are two ways to do that. You can either sit for the exam or you can use continuous educational points. And you attending this tonight gives you, I think, one continuous educational point. I think even every hour or 45 minutes gives you one continuous educational point. So put hashtag put Team Live, hashtag Team Live in the chat, and you'll be able to take a screenshot of that and use that for any certification that you want to get credits for to renew it, right? So kindly go ahead and do that. We have a WhatsApp group for Eretmis, a family. So I think we're almost full, but now we have a little bit space available. So if we'll put the link in the chat, you'll be able to join us on there. And for any cybersecurity discussions that is going on, you can partake in that also as well. And our YouTube channel, we are transmitting everything that we are doing here on our YouTube channel. So you can go ahead and join us on YouTube as well. And kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel to help and share and spread the word. Our YouTube channel is a whole school on its own, right? If you are in the cybersecurity space, you are new, or even if you've been in the industry for a little bit, there's a lot that you can learn from our YouTube channel. So with that, we are going to jump into our activities for tonight. We are going to be looking at Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And for cyber news, we are going to be talking about some of the programs that the government have rolled out in the United States when it comes to cybersecurity. And then we'll jump into the top cybersecurity certifications and salaries. So for our Awareness Month, what are we looking at? So before we look at what we have on here, who can give kind of a background into how Cybersecurity Awareness Month became a thing in the United States and why the world is jumping on and adopting cybersecurity October as the Cybersecurity Month, Cybersecurity Awareness Month for their countries. Anyone want to give it a shot? I think we discussed this last year, right? During Awareness Month. We're doing some promotions on there, I think some scholarships, and folks who were able to answer that well, some got some scholarships. And I'm not sure if everybody from back then is here again. And also you can kindly put where you're joining us from in the chat as well, and we'll give you some shout out when we are about to finish the program. So Cybersecurity Awareness Month, if anybody has any little brief history about how it came to be? Anyone?
I could try, Doctor.
Okay, give it a shot.
Yes, I'll say it. Cybersecurity Awareness Month actually started about 20. This is 21st year since it started, and it was an initiative from I think the White House, if I can recollect, and it was due to the fact that there was a lot of attacks going on, and they needed everybody to be aware that we needed to find a way to protect ourselves and be proactive about our cybersecurity posture. And I think they had the three teams of the, communicate, coordinate, and collaborate. And for the idea that we should focus on our CIA triad, which is the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. That's what I think I can recollect.
Okay, thank you. That is really solid. Thank you. Now, before, I'm not sure, they also have, I think, is it Breast Cancer Awareness Month is also October, right? I think, and I'm not sure how far ago that started, but why do you think we need a month to, create more awareness about cybersecurity? Anyone? I mean, out of all the areas in IT, why create a month? I'm not sure. I stand to be corrected. Is there any area in IT that has a month dedicated by the United States as this is the month for database, or this is the month for software design, or like something? Any area, anything like that that anybody knows about? Why do you think, right, in your own estimation, why would you think is important or necessary for us to dedicate a month to create awareness about cybersecurity? Any guesses or suggestions? I mean, there's no right or wrong answer to this one.
So, Doc, I'll try. I mean, awareness, being aware, meaning people tend to be complacent. So, if a month is dedicated for this, it brings the awareness to the forefront of the people, and also uh, the resources that are needed to maybe the posture that we are right now, maybe what we need to do to get better.
Yes, thank you. That is a great answer. I think we have two hands up, but Jackie, go ahead.
Yeah, I could add to that uh, the United States, if I can go a little bit deeper, believes
Yes.
that the United States, because they are more like a superpower, they believe that they are a major target from other, especially the outside, other countries who have hackers. They try to hack our systems to hold us ransom and gain money or get money from us and steal our data and stuff like that. So the White House believed that it was something that they should bring to the forefront so that everybody's aware about it.
Okay.
Can
Thank you.
Can I make a contribution, Doc?
Yes, go ahead, Geoffrey. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so if you look at the objective of instituting the Cybersecurity Awareness Month, the intention is to educate the public about the importance of cybersecurity and to encourage people to take action to reduce online risk. And as we know, as cybersecurity professionals, one of the key components of cybersecurity, or the reasons we do cybersecurity, is to protect people. So it is important that there is a month for not only for cybersecurity professionals, but the common people who also has to be protected. So I think that is the reason why there is a month dedicated to the awareness creation about cybersecurity.
Oh, thank you, Geoffrey. Mamos, please go ahead. I saw your hand up before you brought it down.
All right, good evening, everyone. Doctor, it's me. Good luck. I just
Hey, good luck.
my
Okay.
middle name. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think I do remember one time ago where the President Obama then he was raising the awareness on that there's a war going on, a cyber war going on against America. There is need for everyone to be aware. When there's a war going on, what happens? The entire country has to be sensitive. Everybody needs to be on. All hands need to be on deck to make sure we're aware of what is going on and how to fight the war that is going on. So I think he was also encouraging young people to, learn computer science and cybersecurity then as well. So I think that is what it's about. Like the two previous speakers just said, is just in line with that we all need to be aware of what is going on. A lot of people, every day there is something always going on. There's a breach going on somewhere. There is 0 day going on every day. So there is need to sensitize everyone on how to take care of our infrastructures and even our computers as well. Thank you.
Isaac, please go ahead and we'll move on. Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah, I think the awareness is in the word itself, cyber, which involves computer systems and networks. So with the way the world is going with AI, automation, and all these other stuff, every businesses, even the economy, everything depends on computer systems and cyber, the internet space.
True.
So I think it creates an awareness to protect some of the systems that is valuable to every country. So I think that's where it's coming from.
Yes. And all the speakers rightly said, you hit the nail on the head. So we are going to jump into our cybersecurity awareness month. So just a brief history about how it began. I think Jacqueline touched on it. So in I think it started 2020, 2003, right? They probably started 2002, and 2003, I think, was the first celebration. And they started this, and when I say they, I mean the United States government started the awareness, cybersecurity awareness. And reason why there's cybersecurity awareness, cybersecurity has been there, or information security, which now has evolved into cybersecurity and other areas within cybersecurity. It's been there, but even for the awareness month when they started in 2003, it wasn't as popular as it is today, right? And it is as popular as it is today because of all these, cyber issues and problems going on, right? So people are becoming more aware. Right now, I think on the Eretmis platform, there like almost every week or thereabout, we have some of our members posting phishing emails that they received, and attackers asking for different things and trying to use different techniques and tricks to be able to at least get some information that they are not supposed to have, or to make you pay money or put you in a certain corner to pay money. So cybersecurity itself has evolved over the years, and attackers are going on that tangent more, because now it is more lucrative to, if you want to, indulge in any malicious activities, it is more lucrative and easier to pull off cyber scams and stuff than to actually physically go steal from somebody's shop or attack somebody by the roadside to get their wallet. It's easier for you to get their information and including their credit card, debit card information online than to physically attack them to get it. So the government in the United States, they are always kind of looking ahead. And if you want to be world superpower, you have to be able to be at the forefront of everything in terms of all sort of combat and all sort of issues. So cybersecurity is becoming the new defense mechanism and the new defense line because if there's going to be any world war, it's going to be fought. And now there is some going on the down low, but most people don't know. All countries, they have their own hackers, they have their own cyber teams that are trying to, get a competitive advantage. So what we call APT, right? Advanced persistent threats. They are government sponsored, and they are constantly. China has their own, America has their own. They are all constantly trying to, bridge the network of other countries to get a competitive advantage or to get some information they are not supposed to have, right? So, and for us as individuals, we also have to be on the lookout and we have to be aware of what is going on in the cyberspace. So if you are not a cybersecurity professional and you are not an IT person and you think, IT is not for me, all this stuff is for the IT folks, you are so wrong, right? Because everybody is involved in it. Everybody. So I think the Cybersecurity Awareness Month initiative was a brilliant idea by the United States government. It was enacted around 2003. So it's about 21 years now. But now it is becoming, cybersecurity itself is becoming more popular, right? And the effort was to, bring a collaboration between the Homeland Security and the National Cybersecurity Alliance. So now within the United States is the Department of Commerce that is in charge of cybersecurity. So all other, they have, different institutions, CISA and others that fall under the Department of Commerce, but they are the ones who are regulating everything and anything cybersecurity, right? And there are a lot of organizations that came out of this effort. And we are going to jump into what the agenda is for CISA, the United States CISA for Cyber Awareness Month for this year, right? So, and then we are going to look at some of the programs that the government has initiated in the cybersecurity space for 2024, right? What they've done so far in the cyberspace for 2024. And that is what we are, going to look at for our cyber news, right? So this is from CISA. Who knows the full meaning of, it's not CISA, the certification. I know we're talking about certifications. It has the same initials, but it's not CISA, the certification. Who knows or have you come across CISA? It's a government agency. Anybody knows the full name for CISA? Because we are doing cybersecurity awareness and cybersecurity education as well. Anyone? CISA, CISA.
It's Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency.
Yes. And can anybody also tell me other agencies like that? They have CISA, they have other ones also as well. Anybody knows any other institution aside CISA that work in the government space?
FESMA, NEST.
No, those are frameworks. I'm talking about like government agencies.
Doc, can we also talk about CIS?
CIS. Yes.
Yes.
And what does CIS stand for? Go ahead. You are coming in again. Go ahead, Mike.
Would NICE be one? NICE?
Yes, NICE is one. And what does what does it stand for?
National Institute of Cybersecurity Education, something like that.
Yes. Anybody else with any other cybersecurity agency on the government side?
Dr. Odigo, I'm going to try NSA.
Yes, NSA is also in that mix. Yes, so NSA, yeah, I'll buy NSA. Anybody else?
How about OMB, Office of Management and Budget?
So yeah, I mean, overall they are in everybody's business because they do budget and finance stuff. But specifically for cybersecurity, what are some of the agencies? So NICE is part, NSA, yes, I'll take NSA, CISA, yes. Anybody else?
CIA.
CIA, as an institution, just like FBI, they are also involved in cyber and non-cyber stuff, but I want specifically cyber.
Hello, Dr. Edu.
Yes, go ahead.
What about CSRB, like the Cyber Safety Review Board? Is it like an agency under the under CISA?
Yes.
CSRB.
Yes, they are also part of that group.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anybody has encountered the Cybersecurity Center for Excellence? Oh, I mean, you can look some of these up online as we are discussing it. Center for Excellence. Anybody?
Homeland Security.
Yes, Homeland Security plays a critical role, but Homeland Security was there before, the government started focusing really big on cybersecurity. So there are a lot of agencies in the cybersecurity space, starting from CISA, NICE. We have the National Cybersecurity Center for Excellence.
NSA.
Yes, the NSA. So there's a whole list of them, right? And reason why I'm asking all these is to draw your attention to, some of these agencies. And when you go to their websites, they have different things on there that is going to help you as a cybersecurity professional. And as a cybersecurity professional, you are supposed to continuously educating yourself and knowing where to find what, right? Some of these sites, they post different things. So for you to learn and be up to speed when it comes to cybersecurity, it's good to be in the business of all these cybersecurity agencies. And for their websites, you can also subscribe. That way, if they have any news updates, you are constantly in the know, right? So you don't really have to even every time go to their website. But if you happen to be there, if you subscribe to their email list, you'll be able to get updated information. So we are just going to briefly look at what the government has planned for Cybersecurity Week. So for week 1, simple steps for online safety, and week 2, cyber from the break room to the boardroom. Week 3, we are looking at recognizing and combating cybercrime. Week 4, they are looking at our connected lives, what your aptitude is for cybersecurity, and then also building resilience in critical systems. And so this is what they have planned out for the cybersecurity month, right? For us, Eretmis, we are going to lay out our own cybersecurity celebration month and awareness. So next week, we are thinking about, coming up something more educational, quiz, like similar to what we did for the interviews, but this is not going to be on interviews. And then we also have some of our cybersecurity professionals, come and enlighten us on what they are doing on the job and how it has helped shape their lives, and what they are learning and how they are going about their business as cybersecurity professionals, right? So there's a lot that we are going to be doing ourselves as Eretmis. So let's look at some of the things that the government has done in 2024 for cybersecurity, right? So the government has its own strategy for cybersecurity. They call it the National Cybersecurity Strategy, NSC. And they first came up with this in 2023. Now, this doesn't mean the government wasn't doing anything or they didn't have any strategy. They've had strategies like we saw from coming up with Cybersecurity Awareness Month since 2003 is a big strategy. Now, for the government, now the new approach that they are using is they've laid out things that they are doing in the National Cybersecurity Strategy, and they came up with a new version of that. That is the 2.0. So everything that we are talking about is for you to follow up on, these and learn more and get more information on it, right? So as part of the National Cybersecurity Strategy, they have taken a critical look at some items, and they've come up with policies on those areas of cybersecurity. So critical infrastructure protection, they've enacted something on this for 2024, and we are going to look at some highlights of the things we are doing when it comes to critical infrastructure protection. Now, when we talk about critical infrastructure, what are we referring to? Anyone? What is critical infrastructure in cybersecurity?
I believe these are high-risk systems.
Yes, and what will be some of the high-risk systems that we consider under critical infrastructure? Go ahead, Mike.
Well, critical infrastructure would include like organizations that provide essential services, amenities. So it will include like water, energy, and what do you yes, and a few others.
Yes. So, like you rightly said, anything that is critical to our livelihood as people and as a nation is what we consider as critical, as part of the critical infrastructure, right? So the water production plants, electricity production plants, the health sector, hospitals, the health systems that we use, and all that. So as a country, every country, that is when we talk about your critical infrastructure, like your railway, your transportation, if those systems are brought to to a standstill, you are going to run into issues, right? Your military, where you have your military equipment and everything that you are using for that, right? So as part of things that we are doing in the cyberspace for 2024, there have been policies on critical infrastructure, and the goal of this is to protect the critical infrastructure sectors, such as the health, education, water, energy, and others, and to strengthen cybersecurity in hospitals, specifically strengthen cybersecurity in hospitals, healthcare facilities, coordinating cybersecurity best practices, educational institutions, enhancing cyber defense. So, talking about education, health, do you know that I chanced on this statistics like 4 years ago? I knew cyber attacks, ransomware attacks were big on the corporate side, and that is what is always in the news. But did you know that schools, I think they will be second in the list. Educational institutions, they are hit more with ransomware attacks than any other institution. And these ransomware attacks, the attackers are asking for 100,000 and 200,000. So it's not the millions that we are going to hear in the news, but it's a lot. And mostly they will hold their exams, their whole entire network for the school will be held hostage. And you wouldn't know the results for your kids. Teachers are not able to release papers that they marked and grades that they put on their systems, and it's a whole mess, right? So it is a really big issue when it comes to the educational side. So at least that is something that you can also put in your toolbox. Research more into that as well. Now, disruption of threat actors. What the government is doing in this side is to increase collaboration between federal, states, and local enforcement, and also bringing in the private sector to disrupt criminals, cyber criminals. And the focus is on targeting some of these ransomware groups around the world. And this is a really big situation, because when your company gets attacked with a ransomware attack, now they are asking for a ransom. FBI and law enforcement will tell you not to pay, because if you pay, it's like you are paying a terrorist, which is kind of against the law. But also, if you don't pay, you are not going to get your information, and your company will come to a standstill, right? So you are always in that, space where you don't know to go left or right. But most of the times they end up paying, because if you don't pay, you're not going to be able to go about your business, right? So that is something that the government is also working towards. Now, another one of the key things for us as consumers and as people who consume technology is this one, the cybersecurity labeling program, right? The cybersecurity labeling program. And like I said, everything that we are doing tonight for educational purposes, we are creating more awareness as well. So what is the cybersecurity labeling program? If you're a cybersecurity professional, aspiring cybersecurity professional, you should be in the know for this. The conversation about this started, I think, some 2-3 years ago, but now is that it has become a real policy. So look into the cybersecurity labeling program. Now, what has this got to do with you or with anything? So if we go through this program, it's a labeling program. It's a voluntary program that the government has come up with, a voluntary certification program. Now, they are starting it, so it's voluntary. Some years down the line, everybody should, Dr. Edu is no prophet, but I can tell you this for a fact. Some years down the line, it is not going to be voluntary anymore. And it is voluntary for what? Companies that are manufacturing smart devices and Internet of Things products. So companies manufacturing your smart fridge, your smart watch, your smart everything, right? Smart cars. Now they can subject themselves to a certification program where we are going to check the security of the security posture of their products, to label it and say it is, very secure. It has high security standards, or it has low security standards, right? So that will help us to differentiate between Internet of Things products or smart products that have high security and the ones that have low security. It is starting off, so it is voluntary. It is going to get to the point where it is going to be mandatory, right? If you are producing any smart product and you don't have that label or that sticker saying, yes, your product meets the stringent cybersecurity standard, then you wouldn't be able to bring it to the market. So this affects all of us, right? And why is this even a thing? Now, for Internet of Things, first off, what is an Internet of Things? Anyone? What is an Internet of Things product?
Internet of Things is pretty much everything, like from iWatch, it could be a TV, smart TV, your laundry mat that has internet, things of that nature.
Okay, great.
Yeah, everything that has internet connectivity.
Okay, yes. Okay. Anybody else?
There's some fridge too, the Internet of Things.
Okay. Yes. So for anything that is not your computer or your phone that can connect to the internet is an Internet of Things. An Internet of Things product, right? So if you have a smart scale, smart light, smart everything, is an Internet of Things product. Now, why is security an issue when it comes to Internet of Things?
It's easy to tap through to connect to somebody to get information.
Okay.
And also because the manufacturers of these smart devices actually, produce them with usability in mind more than security. And so the default accounts or the default password and username are always very easy for anybody to go online, set the device, and then get the password and username and be able to log into it. That's why they are not safe.
Okay. Mike, go ahead, and we are going to move forward. Yes, go ahead, Mike.
That is an issue because most Internet of Things do not get updates and patches from time to time, so that leaves them exposed.
Okay. George, please go ahead, and we are going to move forward.
Yeah, as the previous speaker was saying, I was going to say the same thing. It can be patched or updated that easily.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Great. So I'm going to hop on that last one. So Internet of Things, when it comes to patching, they don't really have much of a problem than embedded devices. Embedded devices are the ones that you cannot patch, right? Or so Internet of Things, because they are connected to the internet, you can easily update them because their vendors are able to, track all of them in real time, right? So that, and sometimes maybe that will be a problem, but not like the problem is not they cannot be patched or updated. The problem is will the vendors be staying current to be able to or manage them well to be sending out updates. Now the problem with Internet of Things is this: all these companies who are racing to bring out the coolest products or the product that can do more, right? Their focus is not on security. Their focus is to make their product cool and to make it bring it to the market early, to have the more cool features. So their focus is on usability and how easy people will be able to use it and how fancy it looks. Their focus is not on security because security is expensive. Mind you, security is not cheap. So designing something and security sometimes make things a bit difficult to use. It kind of, when it comes to usability and security, you have to find a very good balance, right? So their focus is not, from the beginning of Internet of Things products, the focus has never been on security. The focus has always been on usability and how cool it's going to look and how you're going to wow your audience, right? So that is where the problem is coming from. And now they are all racing to get that piece of the market, right? So if I'm making a smart watch, another company is making a smart watch, another company is making it, and they're all different price points, right? So our competition is to come up with the coolest product, not to focus on security. So I'm not going to focus on security and make mine maybe a little bit more difficult to use, or you have to go through some different steps to make sure it is secured. So that is where the problem is. Now, because of that, your watch, your smart TV, be gone were the days where your TV was just your TV. It was not connected to your network or connected to your Wi-Fi. Now, all these things are part of your network. So it's easy for an attacker to breach your TV than to breach your computer, right? If I'm a hacker and I've scanned the systems on your network and I want to attack one of them, the low-hanging fruits devices that I can attack and be able to be successful is your smart scale, your smart fridge, your smart everything. I'm not even going to waste my time on your computer or on your smartphone because they are designed with security in mind. So it will take me more steps, right? It will be a bit more harder for me to breach your laptop if it is well updated and has everything that it needs to have than to, breach your smart scale, right? So if I get into your smart scale, I'm on your network. If I am able to breach your smart TV, I'm on your network. So I can go anywhere, right? So that is why now the government is pushing the agenda to force, or now they are kind of making it advisory, gradually pushing vendors who are manufacturing these products to focus on security. So like I was saying, now it is voluntary. Just subject yourself to it. It will get to the point where they have to drag you to come through and get certified, or your product is not going to be used, right? So kindly take note of that. Now we are looking at public-private collaboration also as well. The government cannot do everything cybersecurity without the private contribution on the private sector, right? So there's a collaboration between the two, the public and the private, including academia and the corporate side of the house as well, right? So great discussion. Now we are going to move into our discussion for tonight, which is going to focus on, and the last one, workforce development. So this is also one big one for us. For the cybersecurity workforce, I think we've we've done a couple of these ones. We looked at this year as one of the cyber chats. We looked at the cybersecurity, a framework for cybersecurity workforce. Right, we always look at different frameworks. Somebody was talking about FESMA, RMF, and other frameworks, CS, ISO 2701, and others. But there's a framework for the cybersecurity workforce. Right, if you want to be a cybersecurity professional, there's a framework for that, and that is the cybersecurity workforce framework. Right, we discussed that in one of the cyber chats, and there is the government is constantly improving on that. That is run by NICE, one of the cybersecurity agencies. So NICE, they are in charge of this. Now, workforce development, the government is pushing the agenda of strengthening the cybersecurity workforce, making cybersecurity skills-based, as like a skills-based area, more so than your traditional certificates and certifications, right? So it's more about what you can do, not how many certifications you have, because you can have a lot of certifications and still not be able to do anything, right? And then also to grow the cybersecurity talent, because there is this gap that is continuously growing when it comes to cybersecurity talent. So the government is pushing that agenda to make sure we are growing more cybersecurity professionals, right? So with that, we are going to jump into our top cybersecurity certifications and salaries. And if there are any questions on the government initiatives that we discussed, you can bring it up before we move on, or the goal is for you to dive deep into it and learn more about what is going on in the cyberspace on the government side. Right. So we are going to look at top cybersecurity certifications and salaries. Now, this is a very, topic, a very big topic that should be dear to all cybersecurity enthusiasts and cybersecurity professionals' hearts. Right. So when we talk about certifications, what are certifications in cybersecurity? In cybersecurity, certifications, they are not mandated. They are a voluntary, something you subject yourself to. Right. But then also it does fast become an industry best practice in IT in general. And then, in cybersecurity. So certifications, they are used to test your knowledge and your skill and your abilities as a cybersecurity, as an IT professional, as a cybersecurity professional, to see how well you've mastered a specific area or a specific body of knowledge. Right. So to sit for a certification exam and to pass shows that you have the knowledge and skill for a certain area of cybersecurity. So we are going to look at these certifications. Now that these certifications, they are all in different categories. So all certifications are in different categories, and we are going to look at these categories as we move on, right? So the certification bodies, they are independent organizations that have been in the industry for a while, and they are the ones who come up with these questions. And you take these certification, like you take their exam. When you pass, they give you their certification. Right now, anybody, you can set up your own certification body. There is nobody really. But anybody can set up a certification body, but then you have to push that agenda in the industry for a while for it to catch up, and for people to really turn to you and adopt your certification exams as one of the ways to certify cybersecurity professionals, right? Just like what ISC Square is doing now. They came up with their lower cybersecurity certification, their entry-level cybersecurity certification, that is the CC, and they've made it free. They've been pushing that agenda for the past 2 years thereabout. To the point where when it catches on to the industry, they want to compete with Security Plus, but Security Plus is fast gone, right? So it's just like how Security Plus, CompTIA is also came up with CAPS Plus to compete with CISSP on ISACA's side, but CISSP is fast gone, right? So these are organizations that are helping the industry grow on the academic side, and also skills and on the professional side as well. So for cybersecurity certifications, we have different certification bodies and how you go about this. So before I even get into this, cybersecurity certificates, like if you come to Eretmis and you are done, we give you a certificate of completion. that is not your traditional cybersecurity certification that we are talking about. Every school that you're going to go to, if you go to college to take a degree in cybersecurity, you get a degree in cybersecurity, a diploma in cybersecurity, a master's in cybersecurity. That is not a cybersecurity certification. If you get a certificate of completion from a bootcamp, it's not the cybersecurity certification we are talking about, right? The traditional cybersecurity certifications like we have in the industry is certifications from these independent bodies like ISACA, CompTIA, ISE Square, IAC, Cisco, and others, right? Now, Google has the Google cybersecurity certificate from, they are doing that through, I think, one agency. But, so like I'm saying, anybody can come up with their own certification and have their own exams, that stuff that you go through. But you have to push that agenda and promote it in the industry before everybody catches up onto that, right? So these organizations, CompTIA, ISACA, GIAC, ISE Square, they are normal companies that want to go that route, cybersecurity training and certification. And, they've been doing it for a while. So now that has become the standard. And they are part of, we are all players in the industry. So, we all set the standard. But if you bring something that people think your exams is good, is independent, it tests the certain type of body of knowledge, then you get accepted. Now, these certifications from when you sit for exams from these companies and you pass, the certificates they give you is what we consider as certifications, right? So hopefully there is no confusion on that one. So if you get a master's, when we are talking about cybersecurity certifications, it is not part of it, right? You have a degree. If you get a certificate of completion from any school, that is a certificate of completion showing that you've completed a course in that school, but that is not the traditional certificates certifications that we are talking about, right? So hopefully that is clear. Now, for the traditional certifications, you have to sit for an exam, and when you pass, you are going to get the certificate. And there's some of these bodies, what I've talked about, ISACA, CompTIA, ISE Square, and others. There's a whole list of them, right? Not just these 3 or these 4, but they are the very common ones. So each of these certifications that you are going to get, they all carry weight. And what do I mean by weight? Every certificate, for you to earn a certificate, the certification body, right? They have a list of knowledge, or they have their own body of knowledge that you have to be proficient in to be able to pass their exam. And the body of knowledge can be categorized into entry level, intermediate level, advanced level, proficiency in the cybersecurity space, right? So earning a certification is good, but then you have to make sure before you even look into getting a certification, what are you intending to do? Where are you at in your journey as a security professional, and what certificates do you need to get, right? Some people will start off and they just want to jump straight to the top. Of course, you can go jump straight to the top, but then when you go anywhere, you go to interviews and they see these certifications, they know you, so you're supposed to know all these things to be able to gain this certification, right? So if you took a shortcut, or you just jumped because you are smart, you jumped, you think you can pass the exams, you passed, but you don't have the knowledge and skill to back the certification up, then that is going to be a minus to you than a plus when you are going to interviews. Because if they ask you questions that you're supposed to know because you have that certification and you don't know it, then they are wondering how you got the certification, right? So certifications, they are good. They will push you and help you to learn and grow to be able to get them. Now, if you are not just memorizing test questions to pass the certification, then the certifications they will help you to grow as a security professional. And, although you need practice tests to practice and time yourself and see how the exams is structured, that shouldn't be your starting point. So it's not like your friend is like, hey, I passed CISA, here are the questions, learn them and go sit for the exam. You can do that and pass the exam, but whom are you fooling? Yourself. Because if you go to interviews, unless, of course, that certificate that you're going to get, you're just going to display it in your living room and your family is going to cheer you up. You're not going to use it to apply for any job or try to use it as like in a professional space. But if you are going to use it in a professional space and you just pass the exam, not knowing half of the things on the exam, or you didn't understand none of the questions, you just were looking for answers to pass the exam. Yes, you passed. So what? Now, what are you going to use that for? Even if somebody gives you a job without an interview, you have to deliver, right? And your certificate or the certification that you have, the certification is not going to do the job for you. You are going to be doing the job. And if you don't have the knowledge and skill to do the job, good luck. They are going to, bring you in, but then they're going to equally kick you out that fast, right? So earning certifications, they are good. They help you. They give you that competitive edge, and you are going to develop as a cybersecurity professional, but you have to make sure you are not going too fast ahead of yourself, right? So you have to make sure you always have the knowledge and skill for the certification. So take your time to sit for, even for folks who've been in the industry for cybersecurity industry for a while, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, to sit for like Security Plus, to sit for like CISSP and others. If you are preparing well for the exams, it can take you as long as 6-7 months, right? But some people just want to, hey, I just want to switch into cybersecurity. I took some course. The next day, I want to take CISSP, get the book, memorize some questions, and then jump into it. You're a good test taker. You take it, you pass. I have CISSP, I have CISA, okay, you have all that. But what do you really know and what can you do? Right? Because mind you, an exam is an exam. It just looks at a portion of the, objectives for the exam. So if you pass it, yes, you pass, you are good. But do you really have what it takes to really defend that? And what most people don't also get is, we are talking about certifications though, but if you have Security Plus, you are Security Plus, not the paper you are holding, right? So if you don't have what it takes to defend Security Plus, your certification is not really going to help you. Right. So with that, we are going to jump into, so this is why bother get a certification. Certifications are good. They are going to help you. The highest paying certifications in the cybersecurity space, and this is not all the list by itself. So CISSP, CISA, this is Security Plus. We're starting from Security Plus. The order that is in doesn't mean the highest paid is not in that order. So Security Plus, Security Analyst, SIM, that is Certified Information Security Manager, certified in risks and information systems control. CRIX, we have CISA, we have GIAC Security Essentials, Pentest Plus by CompTIA, G Pentest by GIAC, and we have Offensive Security, OSCP. Out of all the certifications, OSCP is the most difficult to get, hands down. Because guess what? For OSCP, we are going to talk more about this. OSCP, you are not going to write an exams with multiple choice answers. You're actually going to do the work, right? This is one of the big certifications in the ethical hacking space. And you're actually going to hack into systems and 5 systems and do a pen testing report and submit it. And that is how you are going to pass. It's not, unlike pen test is question-based answers you are going to answer. And then CEH, also you are going to answer questions. So these are some of the certifications, CISSP and others, and the list goes on. So we are going to look at them per certification bodies, right? So GIAC is one of the certification bodies out there. They work hand in hand with SANS, and we are going to look at some of their certifications, right? And this is one of the expensive certifications to sit for. For all these certifications that we are talking about, to sit for the exam, you have to pay, and they are not cheap. Some of them are not cheap, right? For their security expert is one of the most challenging certifications out there, and is one of the highest level in their stack of certifications, right? So this kind of go hand in hand with advanced certifications like CISSP and CISA and SIM and others, and CAPS Plus by CompTIA, right? Now, for this, you are going to sit for, I think you sit for 6 different certificates, and a combination of it will give you the security expert one, right? And for certificates, so for salaries, annual average salary for somebody holding the certification is 154,138. So let me just break this down. So for certifications that you're holding, they come with an average salary that you should be looking at, right? But that also doesn't mean if you have that certification, you're automatically going to be paid that salary. So what do I mean? If you have, let's say, CISSP, if you have this certification, GIAC security expert, and a company is trying to offer you 60K, please don't take it. 2, now, like I said earlier before we got to this point, if you know how you got the certification, you know you have the knowledge and skill to back it up, you are very confident, then don't take that money. But if you took a shortcut, and if somebody sits you down today to take the exams without the questions you memorized, you wouldn't be able to pass and you have no clue what you're going to be doing on there. Still don't take it, but go get the knowledge and skill to back the certification up and go get more money. Right. So that is what I'm saying. Don't be a certificate chaser. Just be chasing certifications and stack them all up, because what you are doing is you are just, you are doing yourself a big disservice than you are doing yourself a service, right? Because the more certifications you have, the more that is going to be expected of you. And if the more certifications you have, the little you know, then I don't know where you're going to get at with that. Now, like I said, unless, of course, if you just want to decorate that in your living room, frame it, and your family is going to cheer you up, cheer you on and say you are doing well, you're a good test taker, then that's fine. But if you're going to use that on the job, then make sure you are not just stacking them up and you don't have what it takes to back them up, because on the job, your certification is not going to help you. It is what you know and what you can do. So for this certification, the annual average salary that you should expect is 154, right? Which is good money. Right now, we are going to look at the pen test part of GIAC. So the pen testing side also, you are going to go for a 3-hour exam that consists of 82 questions. The cost for this exam is 979. And if you have to take it again, if you fail, is 499. And the salary for this also is 154, right? So the average that you should be looking at is 154. Now, like I said, getting this, that is where most people get it wrong. They think if you have the certification, then automatically you're going to get a job and they're going to give you that money, right? It doesn't work that way, because for all these jobs that you're going to be applying to with these certifications, you have to go to interviews. You have to at least 2 different levels or 3 different levels of interviews, and you have to prove yourself, right? That you have what it takes to do the job. So we are going to move on to still looking at for the pen test, the areas that you have to cover for this certification to be able to, like the prerequisite to be able to get into this is what has been listed on here. So knowledge of operating systems. I mean, in the ethical hacking side, you have to, you are not going to do well if you are not well vested in 1, in networking, 2, in operating systems from different operating systems and from different areas. You are not going to do that well, right? So this is just a quick overview of some of the things that are covered in this certification. Now we are going to move into their security essentials certification. So and I think for most folks on here, if this is the first time you are encountering these types of certifications, kindly dig into them. They are not your easily go-to like CompTIA and ISE Square and the other ones. I think for these folks, they don't advertise themselves that well because they have some cool money that they are chopping elsewhere, right? On the government side and most of the corporate side, they work together with GIAC to get certifications for their security professionals. So they are getting a lot of money on that side, more so than, because I know for one of their pen testing certifications, it's almost like $7,000. and other ones, they charge really, crazy money for some of their certifications. But the government side, I know in the military, the government pays a lot for these certifications, specifically for this company, right? So if you don't see them as common as the other ones we are going to discuss, yes, they are there. Dig into them, and you'll be able to learn more about what they do. Mostly their training is through SANS, so you can dig more into this. So for essential security, also once you're done your salary average, you should be looking at anything from 150 going. And the exams is 180 questions, 106 to 180 questions for within 5 hours. So some of these exams, they are kind of brutal. 3 hours, 5 hours. I know when I took CISSP, my exam, it was 6 hours straight, 6 hours exams, right? I know I did the long version. The short version that most people will do is a 3 hours version. So yes, now for this one, also areas that they cover, this certification is for security managers, administrators, and auditors. This is one of the certifications that you can push for. And in the industry, if you have a certification for GIAC, it's one of the respectable all of them, they are respectable certifications, but this is one of the ones that people will be like, okay, we know you have that money, right? Now we are going to jump into ISACA. So ISACA is one of the common certification bodies, and they have some of the very common certifications that most people will sit for, right? So we are going to jump into CISA, one of the very common ones out there. Now, before we jump into CISA, all the certifications that we are going to look at, we are looking at them based from the institution that is, pushing out these certifications. But one thing that I want you to know, I think maybe some other cyber chats, we will look at certifications based on their level in the security journey, right? So entry-level certifications, intermediate level, and advanced levels. Now, for all certifications, they have a focus area. So if the certification is for entry level, that will inform the things or the body of knowledge that is going to be covered in that certification. If it is for intermediate level, it will inform the body of knowledge. If it's for advanced, it will inform the body of knowledge, right? It's like if you are going to college, maybe you are doing chemistry, a degree in chemistry. What you are going to learn in first year is obviously not close to what you are going to learn in your final year. They cannot teach you what you are going to learn in your final year in your first year, because you are just starting in your first year. You don't know that much. You are new into that space. So they have to start you small and build you up to the point where you are well advanced and you can consume the information on your final year, all the different theories and concepts that they'll be thrown at you, right? And it's a build up. You are building up gradually your knowledge base and getting comfortable with the material and getting comfortable with the space within that space, right? So that is why I don't advise, if you're starting off, just jump straight to intermediate and advanced level certifications, right? Give yourself time, right? Even if you want to go the academic space area and just hopping from one certification to the other, make sure you are gradually going through to the point where you have what it takes to move on to that level. Just like how some people will do a 4-year college degree in 3 years or in 2.5 years, right? They are not necessarily jumping, but the 2.5 years, the 3 years, they have to do a lot than the average person to be able to get there, right? So same thing applies here. For these certifications, they all come in different levels. So for the ones that we are looking at, they were speaking to the levels that they were at. For a certification like CISA, CISA is an advanced level certification. That is why when you sit for the exams and you pass, that is not it. You have to get certified, apply for the certification. And one of the requirements is you need 5 years of experience, right? 5 years of experience working in certain areas that are covered within the certification for them to certify you. Now, granted, most people are BSing and saying they have the 5 years of experience and they don't, and you're still going to go ahead and get the certification anyways. But regardless, like I said, if you don't have what it takes, how they have it structured for them in their frame of thought, they require you to have the 5 years because of the level that they've given to their certification. So if you are saying you have the 5 years and you don't, and you get a certification, that is up to you. But if I know you have CISA, I know you are supposed to have 5 years of experience. And what is really this 5 years of experience about? It's not necessarily the number of years necessarily that they are looking at, or you have to just work for 5 years and that qualifies you. But for somebody to have 5 years of experience, you should be familiar with these areas and you should know things within these areas. And you should have the necessary required skills and knowledge within these areas. That is what they are pushing for, right? So we are going to move on into CISA. So for CISA, the areas or the domains that are covered: information security, information systems, auditing, processes. And for CISA, the main focus is on audits. So if you want to work in the compliance side, if you want to work in auditing side, assessment side, in GRC side, one of the best certifications to get is CISA, right? It also covers governance, management of IT, system acquisition, development and implementation, business resilience, information systems operations. Now, for CISA, when it comes to technical cybersecurity knowledge and skill, CISA covers is about 40 to 50%. And when it comes to purely management, leadership management and auditing knowledge, when it comes to purely auditing theories and concepts, it covers almost 40%, and the remaining 20% or thereabout is it like the focus is on managerial leadership, perspective or operational perspective of security, right? So if you have a very good cybersecurity, like cybersecurity knowledge base, scaling CISA, you just have to top up with, familiarizing yourself with auditing principles as it pertains to the information security side, right? Now for CISA, the exams is 760. If the price has changed, probably around maybe 800. So just budget for 800 thereabout. Now it says for non-members, but to be a member, you have to pay, I think it's 400 and something, so for the first time that you want to sit for this, you're eventually going to pay around 760 or 800, right? And subsequent times, if you registered as a member, it is also your membership is going to be part of this amount. And for other certifications that you're going to write or sit for, you are only going to pay 500 and something because you're a member now, right? The exams is also 3 hours, I think, if I remember correctly. And is 4 hours. Okay, yes, thank you. And is 150 multiple choice questions that you're going to go through. And for ISACA, one of the all these exams that we are talking about, I will give you some insight into some of them. For ISACA, their questions are not very tricky, right? So if you've studied your material well and you know the answer is going to be a little bit more obvious than other ones like Security Plus or CompTIA, CI or like CISSP and others, which sometimes they get a bit more tricky. But ISACA, from my experience, they are, it's not that very tricky when it comes to picking your answers, right? So that is, and at least prerequisite, you should have 5 years of professional exam. Now, if you don't have the 5 years, you can sit for the exam, right? And get qualified and then, wait to get the prerequisite professional experience. Now, still, when you are writing or when you are setting up your resume, you can still put it on there. CISSP passed the exam and it still carry weight. It's not like it is to pass the exam, it takes a lot. So if you pass the exam, kudos to you, you've done well, right? If you are not fully certified, it is still going to carry weight. So you can still put that on your certification, right? Good luck. I'm going to get with you. So for average salary for CISSP, for CISA is 154. Now, all the ones that we've been looking at is 150, 150. You know why? Because those certifications are intermediate, advanced level certifications, right? And who is required to have this certification? IT auditors, compliance analysts, risk analysts, data security officers, security managers. So this is mostly for managerial role, leadership, auditing role, right? So, but even if you have just 2 years of experience and you have this, I'll still push for more money, because the average, I think 2 weeks ago, when we looked at the average salary for a security professional is 110, 116, thereabout. So anything above 100, but if you have some good certifications, then push for more, right? Now we are going to look at CRICS. For CRICS, it's also one of the intermediate certifications, advanced, intermediate, advanced level certifications. And the goal here is to check the body of knowledge is centered around risks and information security controls, right? And then also check your leadership and operational aptitude when it comes to security. This certification, also run by ISACA, is like the minimum requirement. The prerequisites is 3 years of information security program management experience, and is 150 multiple choice exams. The passing score is 450 out of 800, and I think the price also for this is around the 700, and I stand to be corrected, but around the same figure, 600 to 750, right? And people who are required, or with this certification, some of the roles you can hold: risk manager, security manager, business analyst, IT manager, and the list goes on. Even for chief information security officer or chief compliance officer, if you have this certification, is going to help. The average annual salary is 133. So, but I think this, you should also ask for more. But well, this is the average, but I'll go for 150 also for this one as well, right? And then we look at SIM. So SIM, the focus here is not on auditing or on risks necessarily. The focus is on management. So the focus here is on management. The areas that are covered under SIM: information security governance, information incident response, security risk management, information security program. So you should be able to run information security program for the company. For prerequisites, 5 years, just like CISA, of work experience, and passing the exam, you are going to get certified. Now, the average salary for this one is 167, right? And mind you, you can always ask for more. Then, like I said, it's not just the certification that is going to get you this. The certification together with what you can do and what you know. And then also sometimes it comes down to your negotiation skills when it comes to compensation. Now, some of the titles, job titles for this one: information systems security officer, your ISO, privacy risk compliance or information risk compliance information security manager. And any managerial leadership role you can apply to with this certification as well. Now, before we move on, for folks who are looking to become cybersecurity professionals, our cybersecurity entry-level course is the place to be. You don't need any cybersecurity background or IT background or coding required. We are going to take you from where you are to where you can start working confidently as a security professional. You are going to go through 4 months of training, 2 months of which you are going to go through the training, 2 months of out of that also you are going to go through our internship program to get prepared on how to actually function and do the job as a security professional, getting your hands dirty, working on real-world security projects. And then once you're done, we do one-on-one mentorship and assistance when it comes to job placement, help you secure your first cybersecurity job. And for folks looking to specialize in the cybersecurity space, jump onto our PCI DSS program. Is a very comprehensive payment security compliance program where we make you a PCI DSS professional within 4 months, within 6 months, depending if you are looking to get into the specialist or the expert program, right? And PCI DSS is a very lucrative niche within the cybersecurity space. So if you are looking to specialize as a security professional or you're already in IT, this is the place to be. Now, for our cybersecurity internship, GRC internship, this is the program that helps you to bridge between certifications and the doing of the job, right? So you can have the certifications, you can have the knowledge. If you've not actually gone through and worked on projects, during interviews is going to show. And even when you get opportunity to work, it is also going to show, right? Our interns who complete this program, they are market ready when they get the opportunity to work. None of them are coming back to ask for help on how to do their work because they've actually worked on almost all the projects that will be thrown at them, right? We started our new cohort 23rd September. Now, for that cohort, we are about to jump into our first project. So if you're still looking to join, it's not too late. But the next one after this one is going to be on October 23rd is the next one. We are going to start no, I think it's November 23rd. I stand to be corrected on that one. Is our next internship cohort that will be starting. Now we are going to look at CompTIA certifications. So for CompTIA, is one of the very common certification bodies that are out there, and they have one of the common certifications. Is this one of the common certification bodies, and they have one of the common certifications out there. We are going to start with CompTIA Security Analyst. So for CompTIA Security Analyst, it is classified as an intermediate level certification. And the areas that it covers, security operations, vulnerability management, reporting, and communication, incident response and management. And it requires you to have 4 years of experience as a security professional. Now for CompTIA, unlike the other certification bodies, once you pass the exams, you have the certification. So you don't need to get certified, apply to get certified. Once you pass the exam, you have the certification. So that is one of the cool things about CompTIA. You pass the exams and then that's it. You don't have to go through any other steps to get certified. Now, this exams is about 85 multiple choice questions. You have to score 750 out of 900 to pass. The exams fee is 401. And with the CompTIA, the 20% discount from Eretmis, that brings it to, I think, 330 or 331 or something of that nature. And the roles that you can hold with this certification, the list is right here: security analyst, vulnerability analyst, SOC analyst, threat intelligence analyst, incident response analyst, cybersecurity engineer, and the list goes on, right? So for this certification, it is for the minimum salary, 121, right? The median yearly salary for a CompTIA security analyst holder. This is the median salary that you should be looking at. Now, for one of the most advanced CompTIA certification when it comes to the security space is the CAPS Plus. And this certification kind of goes, head to head with CISA, SIM, and CISSP. They are they are on the same, space, the advanced level security certification. Now, unlike CISA and SIM, this certification does not focus predominantly on your leadership and managerial, although that is tested, but the main focus is still on the technical side of security as well. So all CompTIA certifications, they are more technical than the other ones. Not saying you're not going to have any technical questions in the other certifications, but for the other certifications, if it is management oriented, the focus more is on management and how you think as a manager in the security space. But for this one, it's a bit more technical, and it covers areas like security architecture, governance, risks and compliance, so GRC, security operations, security engineering, and cryptography. And for the minimum required for this is at least 10 years of basic hands-on IT experience, right? So that is the focus, and 5 years of broad hands-on experience. Now, the salary range we are going to look at before the exams is $500 to pay for the exams. 90 questions, 165 minutes, and it's multiple choice and performance based. And the average salary is 109, right? So why 109? You'll be asking why 109. I don't know, but I think if you have CAPS Plus, you should ask for more, because if security analyst gives you more, then CAPS Plus should give you a little bit more. But also maybe probably the focus, even though the focus is more security, general security or hands-on security more so than leadership managerial, I think this is also a little bit low. But guess where we got this from? This is from CompTIA. themselves, and then also Scalesoft 2023, their report for security professionals. And CompTIA Security Plus, the most popular, one of the most popular and certifications out there. So for CompTIA Security Plus, please kindly give me a second. So for CompTIA Security Plus, this is where most security professionals will start from, right? If you get into the security space, you want to test the waters, see what certification, how well you're going to do on the certification, CompTIA Security Plus. And what most people don't know is CompTIA Security Plus really sets the foundation for all these certifications that we talked about on the technical side of cybersecurity, right? CompTIA Security Plus really covers almost everything on the technical side, all the areas. So if you have if you pass CompTIA Security Plus and you passed it on your own merits, you understood what was going on, you studied well for it, you will be able to easily scale from CompTIA Security Plus to security analyst and even try your hands on CISA, CISSP. But although you need a little bit more for those exams, when it comes to the technical portion of those exams, what you know for Security Plus is really going to help you. It's way more than you need for the technical side of those advanced level certifications, right? So for Security Plus, everybody on here who is aspiring to be a security professional, this is what you should go for first. Now, with that, let's jump into the certification itself is 404 in terms of the fees. And for prerequisite, there is none. Sometimes they say at least 2 years of security focused IT admin experience. But if you don't have any of it, and for all CompTIA certifications, you're not going to certify. Once you pass the exams, you have it, right? So for some of the, jobs that this will help you to get security analyst, security specialist, security engineer, security consultant, and the list goes on, right? So at least if you're a security professional, you should get Security Plus in your catalog of certifications. Now for Security Plus, the average is 121. And, don't say, oh, but you are just starting. No, the average for a security professional in the United States, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is 116, right? So you should anything above 100, 110, that is what you should be asking for, regardless of what certification you have or what you don't have. Now, CompTIA Plus, the focus is Pen Test Plus. The focus of this was to match CEH, right? The ethical hacker certification, the certified ethical hacker. Their goal was to match it. And I think when Pen Test Plus came out, Pen Test Plus was a bit more difficult in terms of technicality than the CEH. But now I think they are, at the same level. Now, for this exams, you are going to, it's going to be multiple choice as well. I think all the ethical hacking certification should follow OSCP, where you actually have to hack, not just memorize test questions and pass, right? So for this, it covers everything, pen testing, and you should know. I remember when I took this, if you really don't know pen testing and you are just memorizing test questions, some of the test questions, they are going to mislead you. You have to know pen testing to know some of the answers. Even on my exam, some of them were not accurate in terms of some of the scripts that were on the exams. But if you know what you're doing, at least the ones that come close, you are going to choose those because you look through and, but that was when they've just started with it. So probably by now they've made all those corrections, right? So on average, it's 85 questions with 65 multiple choice, with 165 minutes with 85 multiple choice questions, and your passing score is 75. Passing score for all CompTIA certifications is 75, and the price for it is 404. Right now, average salary 109, like we saw earlier for CAPS Plus also as well. And for roles, vulnerability analyst, security analyst, penetration tester, and with that, we are going to move on into ISC square. Now, For CompTIA, they have other certifications, but these are the ones that we're just going to focus on. For ISC Square, we have their very first certification, and this is the one of the biggest or the oldest certification in the security space, CISSP. So CISSP, the focus is on testing your operational, managerial, and leadership skills in the cybersecurity space. Prerequisite is 5 years of experience in at least 2 of the 8 domains that are being tested on the exam. You have 250 multiple choice questions and 6 hours, or I think now it's 3 hours and 100 and something questions. It depends, but sometimes they keep going back and forth. There's a long version and the short version. So passing score is 700 out of 1,000, and we are going to look at some of the domains. So the domains that are covered in this risk management, asset security, security architecture and engineering, communication and network, identity and access management, security operations, software development, security assessment and testing. So these are the areas, the body of knowledge that is covered. The price for this is, for the exams, is 749. And if so, for all the exams fees, if you fail, you failed. If you want to sit for a new one, you have to pay the full price, right? So they are not cheap, but if you want to sit for this, you have to make sure you are ready. Now, the average salary for CISSP is 140. Some of the roles that you can hold, most leadership roles, CISA, Chief Information Security Officer, Chief Security Officer also is also in that space. You can be a security architect, security manager, and a whole list of others, not just these 3, right? Now, CISS, ISC Square, they have the CC. We didn't talk about the CC, but the CC is one of the certifications that they are trying to push to compete with Security Plus. Now we're going to offensive security certifications. So OSC, offensive security, OSC, offensive security, is also one of the organizations within the security space that are a bit quiet or silent. To get to know them, if you want to do something on ethical hacking, that is where you are really going to get to know them well. And for everybody on here who've gone through the entry level, if you downloaded Kali Linux, these are the owners of Kali Linux. Offensive security, they are the ones who came up with Kali Linux. They are actually the pioneers when it comes to ethical hacking. They are the ones who brought all the hacking tools together in one platform under Kali Linux, and then Parrot OS is trying to do the same, and other companies are trying to do similar to what they've done, right? But they are the ones who initially, before they did that, brought everything under Kali Linux. If you had to do ethical hacking or all these tools that are under Kali Linux, they are on different areas. So you have to go download and map. You have to, but they brought everything together. So they are one of the big industry players. Now, their certification that we are going to look at, one of the biggest is OSCP. And this certification is very interesting. If you want to get this, if you want to pursue ethical hacking, this is the best certification, not one of, is the best certification out there. If you want to pursue ethical hacking, it is good for you to go this route than to go do multiple choice tests, to say, okay, I'm a certified ethical hacker. And you can't really hack into anything, right? So because on the job, you're actually going to be hacking into stuff. So, and this is the beginning. So although OSCP is not going to make you a top-notch ethical hacker, but at least it's a good starting point. Now for these exams, you are going to, it's 24 hours. You are going to be given 5 systems to hack into, right? So the IP addresses, and they connect you through their VPN, and you start hacking away, right? And within the 24 hours, the platform will shut down. And within the next 24 hours, after the first 24 hours, you are going to come up with a report, penetration testing report. And for folks in penetration testing, you know how that report goes. So every single thing that you did, you have to document all of it and present your report. And if you were so once you've done everything, you're going to submit it. If you are successful, you pass, you should be able to, I think, you will pass 3 systems, or you should be able to hack successfully into 3 out of the 5, and also turn in your report, and that will be, you are going to pass at that point. Now, for this it is 1,500. Last time that we checked, 1,500. Now, for these exams, is very extensive. You can't just jump into it without having any background or going through and making sure you are practicing. And they have some platforms and they have training for you to go through to practice. But it's a very interesting journey. It's a very interesting exam. So this is one of the best certifications out there in the ethical hacking space. And salaries, annual average salary is 132 for this certification. And some of the roles that you can hold, obviously, penetration tester, malware analyst, anything in the forensic space you can also do, security consultant, and the list goes on, right? Now, that is the end of the certifications that we're looking at. We are looking to, not go too deep into our weekend. It's 8:39, almost 8:40, and we are wrapping up here with OSCP. So for folks who are looking to get into our WhatsApp group, we are going to post the link. And for our YouTube channel, kindly we encourage you to join our YouTube channel. For folks you're looking to get into the cybersecurity space, our cybersecurity entry-level course is the place to begin. And if you're on here and you've not taken any of our free courses yet, we are going to post that also as well for you to take that. Very comprehensive. But for our entry level, it is going to make you a full-blown cybersecurity professional, regardless of your background, right? And then for folks looking to get into a specialized area in the cybersecurity space, PCI DSS is an area that you can really specialize in as a niche. And then if you're looking to break the gap between knowledge and skill, if you've gone through some training, but you're not really sure of yourself that you have what it takes in terms of doing the job, get into our cybersecurity internship, GRC internship program. Now, for any questions, I think Good Luck had a question. Good Luck, you can kindly ask your question, and we will take questions and we will wrap it up for tonight.
I think it was supposed to be 2 questions. I think I forgot, but the what I wanted to ask is about the CSAP. I'm preparing for. I'm hoping to write it before the end of the year. So I haven't really, looked at it. I was just preparing with your questions. My question was going to be, is it just based on your resume that you can prove your qualification, that you qualify to write the exams? Will they verify your 5 years experience?
Okay, so for CompTIA, not for CompTIA, for ISE Square. Wait, for ISE Square and ISACA, which are the owners of CISA. There is a form that you're going to fill out, and in the form you are going to put the details of what you've done within the areas they are looking for, right? And then you are going to have somebody verify for you. Mostly it has to be somebody who already has one of their certifications. So that person will verify for you, and then that's it. And I think I'm not sure if you are going to upload your resume also as well. I think for ISACA you do. I don't remember. It's been a while, but for I know for ISE Square, for like CISSP and others, it has to be somebody who has CISSP who can verify that indeed you have the 5 years or you've worked in all those areas that you say you've worked in, right? So ISE Square is also similar. So go to their website. They have all that information on there, right? But everybody here, if you don't have 5 years of experience or what they are looking for, you can still take the exam. Nothing is preventing you from doing that, right? You can still take the exam, but for them to, give you the certification, you have to verify. So after taking the exam, you have to apply for the certification. Unlike CompTIA, where when you pass, you have the certification. For ISE Square, for ISACA, you have to apply for the certification even after you pass the exam. So hopefully that helps. Now, some shout outs. We have Manlo joining us from Zimbabwe. Wow. Go ahead, John.
Yes. Good evening, sir. I have a question for the SOC analyst position training. How much do you charge? And I want to know if it is hands-on, not the theoretical part, just teaching me. And in future, if I happen to get a job and I'm asked to do it, I don't know what tools to use, which of the tools to use. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking to know, is your training hands-on or is just the theoretical part of it? And how much is it? Thank you, sir.
Okay. So you're asking SOC analyst. I'm assuming you are looking to break into cybersecurity.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So it's not SOC analyst that you are looking for. You are looking for a cybersecurity training and hands-on that is going to help you break into the cybersecurity space. Now, mostly when folks who want to get into the security space don't get hanged up on a role, your security architecture training. I mean, you are going to be misled, right? When you are starting in the security space, you have to know how to, and you have to understand security, everything security. So all the different areas. And then for roles, they are roles. Job titles are you can move from one job title to the other and still be doing the same thing, right? So for our training, our entry level, you are going to start off with knowledge. So we take you through concepts theory, and then we move you into the skills portion where you start working with tools, build your own cybersecurity lab, have vulnerable machines that you're going to be scanning with these different tools, do different reports, work with different tools to familiarize yourself with the tools and how they are used. And you have that opportunity of working with all these tools. And then we move you into the internship where you are going to be now working on projects. It's project-based. You're going to be working on projects for 2 of our sister companies, right? So for folks who've been on this journey and are done, when you get a role, you have that confidence, you can easily function and work in any of these roles. So we have folks who finish our training. Some are working as GRC specialists, GRC analysts. Some are working as third-party risk analysts. Some are working as vulnerability management analysts. Some are working as, and why are they able to fit on all these different roles? Because the training that they go through, we cover all these. And it's not an introductory training. We go in depth. The idea behind it is if you understand how to drive, you can drive any car, right? So we are not teaching you how to drive a Mercedes. We teach you how to drive first. So once we're done, we polish you up with the internship. Now we will put you in a Mercedes. We will put you in an Audi. We will put you in. So you first have learned how to drive. Now we put you in the different cars. So you've been in different roles. So once you're done and you are looking for a job, if that job is to drive a Mercedes, you can easily just hop on there and drive. So even if you get a job that you are going to drive, maybe like a car brand that you've never heard of, you know how to drive. So they only have to rent you on that car and you should be good, right? As opposed to if all that you knew how to do was to maybe drive this specific car. And that is all that you knew. You don't, like, you just knew the way around that car and that's it. You didn't really polish up on your driving as a driver as a whole. Then you run into issues, right? So when you are getting into the industry, the job titles, they mean something, but really when you go deep, they are just job titles, right? Because we had a student, their company was acquired by a different company. Her role was information assurance analyst, I think. When they got acquired, they changed her position to, I think, security specialist. Guess what changed? Nothing. She was doing the same thing, right? So we shouldn't be chasing job titles. We should be chasing the required knowledge, skills, and abilities to be able to function. So I think, John, that should answer your question. So it's not theoretical. You can learn theory all day and concepts, but on the job, or even during interviews, nobody is going to be asking you how to define stuff or what is this for you to define. They want to know what you've done. And that is where the internship comes in. So for the tools, they're to help you, but the internship really walks you through projects that you've worked on. So with no background in cybersecurity, you can still speak to projects that you've worked on, because these projects, you are working on 10 major projects. Folks who've been in the industry for 5 years have not even had the privilege of working on all these projects. So that really puts you up the food chain, right? So hopefully that helps, John. And for the entry level is 5,500. We have different payment options. Instrumental payments options are available. And we are having our Cybersecurity Awareness Month promotion, which is a 25% discount on all courses. So you can take advantage of that also as well.
Okay, $5,500, right?
500. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that information. Do you have the duration for
It's 4 months.
4 months? Okay.
Yes. So
Thank
2
you, sir.
months of the training and working with the tools, the hands-on, and then 2 months of the internship where you are going to be working in teams, working on security projects.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome. All right. So we have Philip from George joining us from Ghana, Reginald from Dallas, Andy, Chicago, and some team lives from Shongo and others. Ellie, the WhatsApp link has been posted, so kindly take a look at it. Geoffrey, please go ahead. And Mike Vancouver. Go ahead, Geoffrey.
This actually not a group question. It's to you.
Okay.
I saw the teams are out. You know, I have been asking from last week when is the list going to come out, and incidentally, when the list came out, my name is not on any of the teams.
Oh, your name is not on there? Okay. Kindly shoot a test or an email, and we are going to fix that. That is why, like when we do the first list, we will send it out, and then if there are any corrections, we are going to make those corrections as needed. Right.
Okay. So tomorrow, what time is our meeting?
So for all our interns, for the new interns, we are still meeting at 10 a.m. And for our seniors, our meeting time still remain the same.
10 a.m. So okay. I
Eastern.
don't. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And Emmanuel from Virginia. We have Noble from Dallas, Texas. Thomas from Texas also as well. So for all our folks who joined us tonight, Philip from Ghana and a lot of team lives in there, Rachel, Maryland, we appreciate your time, and we are wrapping up for tonight. And okay, so Fred from San Antonio, thank you. Mike, please go ahead and we will wrap up for tonight.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So this is just a comment about this tonight's presentation. You were talking about the Cybersecurity Awareness Month. I think it's very important because just this morning, my wife's friend kept calling her repeatedly. So when she answered, she said somebody had compromised her phone and was sending messages to her friends asking that she needs help. Unfortunately, one of her friends was, sent out money to whoever was asking for the money, about $450 to $500 the person sent. So I'm just saying that it's really important that we are all should be aware of, the cybersecurity dangers out there, and then should let our friends and family know and be aware. Because my wife was saying that, oh, how can you even send the money without contacting the person first? So that knowledge is important for everybody, so we don't end up finding ourselves in such positions.
Okay, thank you, Mike. And I think there was another hand. Okay, thank you, Mike. So with that, if there are no more questions, we are about to wrap up. I appreciate everybody's time. Have a great weekend, everyone. We are going to meet same time next week. And next week, going to be more fun discussion panel. So be on the lookout for that. And for Cyber Awareness Month, we are going to be doing more awareness ourselves. And then also I encourage everybody to spread the word. Like Mike just said, some folks are still not up to speed when it comes to these social engineering and these little attacks here and there. So let's educate our family and friends. That way they don't fall victims like what Michael was talking about. So I appreciate everybody's time. Have a great weekend. And for all our interns, we are going to meet tomorrow morning, the usual times. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you, Doc.